Welcome to the Rose Show podcast.
Welcome to Winning Trades, Investing, and Passive Income with fabulous women option traders. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We hope to make this space educational and lots of fun. Quick disclaimer, please do not construe this as investment or financial advice. I'm Rosanna, your host, and I'm so grateful to be here today with these fabulous women option traders. On our dynamic panel today, we will be speaking about the market, trading, investing, passive income, mindset, and more. These women are not only brilliant and fabulous traders, but also really good people, filled with positivity. I've gotten to know them all very well, and I'm so grateful to have met them. It is so important to surround ourselves with others that embody this positive growth mindset. And these women are inspiring, encouraging, generous with their time, and their positivity is contagious. A positive mind creates a positive, successful life. So please make sure you are following all of them. So let's begin. And no better place to begin than Vegas. Woof, woof. Vegas, queen of positivity and so inspirational. Also the goddess of breakouts. Love your morning motivational tweets. What are your thoughts on the market? What are you trading? And I know woof woof, Chewy was an amazing trade.
Okay, sorry, Rosanna, you were talking to me?
Yes, woof
Sorry
woof.
about
I
that.
said, I'm
Sorry.
speaking your language. Woof woof.
Yeah, sorry. So, what you were asking me, like, what am I trading today, or what are my thoughts on the market?
Yes, all of the above.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm noticing I just took a Snapchat call with my team here, $10 calls for next week. 39 cents for November the 4th, expiry, $10 calls. A lot of momentum in Snapchat. Was seeing a lot of action in the social media stocks. You could see Twitter, Snap, Meta, they were all ripping. And when I was looking at the weekly chart on Snap, you could see here that the 8 EMA is at 959. So I think if we can break that level today, which we're almost going to do it, that'll bring in some buyers on Snap, and we could probably head towards maybe 1016, which is the 21 EMA, and then we'll see where it goes after that. But we have a Snap call in play. Retail stocks have been ripping. I've been talking about retail stocks for the last couple of days, but the retail stocks like Lululemon, Target, Walmart, they've all been going. Macy's. I guess people, I don't know, like, are people shopping? Are they shopping for the holidays or birthdays? I mean, I don't know, but the retail stocks are popping. And right now, like, the market is holding. Like, we know we're in a bear market rally, so we are just enjoying the moment and just trading the price action. But certainly, not convinced at this point. Oh yeah, we're in the bottom. Let's load the boat. We're not doing that. We're just trading market and price action, and you want to be where the action is. So definitely loving the strength too in the QQQ. Still seeing a lot of actions and strength in AMD, and also in NVIDIA, extremely strong, and looking for a continuation on that to head towards 140 probably in the coming sessions, and AMD heading towards 70 in the coming sessions. Looks really, really strong. And as I'm talking to you, and I was talking about retail, and then I'll pass it to the next member on the panel here, because I know we don't have tons of time. But I do want to mention Nike, because you guys know I love to follow dark pool, and I love to follow the money flow, and so it's really important to follow money with options and stocks, because you kind of want to know, like, what is the smart money doing? Are they buying? Are they dumping? You don't always know with dark pool, but what you can do is try to track the different levels of the prints that come in and see, like, what is going on. So you could see here that Nike has triggered for a swing trade. Nike has broken the $91.25 level. And so as a result of Nike doing that, Nike stock is on track now and should head towards, let me see what level I have, should head towards maybe $98. So stop loss would be about 85 at this point. So depending if you like to trade commons or if you like options. And so because this is a swing trade, Definitely going to give a expiry date for November 18 because you need time on your side for this trade to work. So most likely, I will be giving to my room momentarily the $92 calls. Not going to go higher than 95. That's the highest strike I'm going to go. And those ones are looking nice. They're around $2.25 and November 18th. So you have like, quite a bit of time. And, keep your eyes on Baba. I mean, Baba broke 65 bucks today, did pull back, but don't take your eyes off Baba because the money flow has been really, really aggressive. I follow black box stocks and Chatter Flow, and the prints were just so powerful in the China stocks as a result of the drama from yesterday. But still, Baba, it looks like they were buying some pullbacks on Baba. So definitely keep a watch if it can reclaim that 65. This is going to be popping. So watch those China stocks. So that's kind of my thoughts on the market. And thank you so much for supporting all these amazing women and for hosting this event. Really appreciate being on here with so many smart women and appreciate the chance to be able to express some commentary and share some ideas because I really want people to learn, but also would love people to like learn, but also make money. And, it's one thing to comment, but it's nice to give good quality content so that people can definitely benefit from tuning in and listening to the educational information. So thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you. Oh my God, you're so amazing. You guys all heard it first from Vegas. Nike. I love that trade. It goes in line with your retail that you mentioned. It's seasonality and the holidays are coming up. People are starting to do their Christmas shopping. I mean, we see it's probably going to be, they're predicting a flat retail sales season. Who knows? That's what they're saying. But if we look at the stocks, we see people are buying. That's great. So Nike looks very interesting. I like that as a swing. Thank you so much. And thank you you gave us so much information, too much. I'm going to have to rewind this. Fortunately, I'm recording this. I'm going to have to rewind it and re-listen to it. You're amazing, Vegas. Thank you so much. I was going to ask you, are you playing the Google, Microsoft today or Enphase? I know those are the big earnings today. Are you doing anything with those?
So no, just to comment on that, I'm not going to do those into earnings because I have done so many of those in the past and I just get burned. So I'm not really good at trading earnings unless sometimes, I find something super, super cheap. Then I treat it as a lotto because I just play with profits. But I'm just going to wait. I usually love to play the angle for after earnings. I've had more success doing it like that, but I'm definitely love hearing what the other panel members have to say, their strategies on how they might do their earnings because, sometimes you don't have to do their actual earning. You might want to do another stock that is, a potent, an offset. So if you Google or Microsoft, maybe some people might do maybe Apple or something else as to offset and see another stock that's in the same space, maybe like Nvidia instead.
Great idea. Thank you so much. And I love that takeaway from that. Know what works for you. And that's so part of the market psychology. You have to know yourself. And that makes you a more successful trader by knowing what works for you. So you know that the earnings plays may not be the best for you. And same for me. So it's great that you work like that. I think we're going to go to Archana because she did do a type of trade similar to what you just said, butterfly queen. I'd like to ask you about this. I know you're playing earnings today with Microsoft and Google, but you're doing it in a very creative way. Could you please tell us?
Yeah, I am going with IGV called debit spreads. IGV is the software ETF, and its majority, I mean, biggest holdings is Microsoft, CRM, ServiceNow. So rather than me playing three different trades, I'm just playing IGV call spreads, and that too I'm going out in December. So, my thought is for earnings, either of them blow out and IGV will work. So that way I can, have 3:1. I don't have to be right for any, if Microsoft doesn't work well, but CRM has fallen so much and end of year rally goes through, I'm fine with it because IGB will perform. That's what I'm doing.
Very nice. Thank you. What are your thoughts on the market lately? I know you did an amazing SPX, I think, call butterfly last Friday. Could you please share with us that trade and your thoughts on the market? right now?
Yeah. So Friday, when the news broke out, right? Wall Street Journal article that Fed may pivot, whatever, and we started rallying. You could see that the maximum open interest was at around that 3750 area, and lots and lots of calls were piling in there. So what I did was I did an SPX 3745, 3750, 3755, that $5 wide call butterfly for 25 cents. And we pinned approximately, we closed, it settled at 3752.25. So if you look at it, it almost pinned there. So I was able to close the butterfly for 225, and I had paid only 25 cents for it. So
Wow. Amazing.
yeah, I
Fantastic
mean,
trade.
knowing
Congrats.
looking at the options, open interest, and where a lot of volume was trading, that helped me. And what if there was some news, because bonds were still going down that day? If it didn't work, I would lose 25 cents. But it worked, so I made a lot. So that's how you trade butterfly when you're thinking about a pin, especially on a Friday. Fridays, especially for that pinning, it really helps.
I love that. It's a lower risk, apparently, 25 cents with a huge reward, over $2. Fantastic trade. That's why you're called the butterfly queen. So much to learn from you about the butterflies. Excellent trades. Thank you. Um, could you tell us your thoughts on the seasonality and earnings?
So since we all have, options market has become bigger than the stock market, right? Many are trading only options. So everybody is hedging for elections, everybody is hedging into FOMC. And if you see, after all these events, we usually rally, and that's what happened. Even if you remember 2 years ago with the election, everybody was hedged, too many people hedging. And then once the event happens, and everything is released, so you are able to go higher. So that's what I am thinking, because everybody is trying to hedge right now for elections and FOMC rate hikes. And then we are getting into seasonally holiday season, which is usually more bullish. So after November expiration, I'm mostly thinking that it's going to be a slow grind up to that 4,000, maybe even 4,100 area, so that people can feel happy. That's what I'm thinking. Till then, it's choppy. Especially, I need to see Apple close above 152 for this month for me to still think that we are going to be going higher. If Apple cannot close above 152, its monthly chart will not be looking good. And currently everybody looks at Apple because they are holding up Apple to keep the markets propped up. So that's where I'm looking at.
Valuable insight. Thank you. I'll take a slow grind upwards. I'll take slow. I'll take grind. I'll take anything. But that sounds fantastic. It looks very possible, and it's very interesting. Great insight regarding Apple. So 152 is the level to watch. Thank you. Jess, you have a great positive mindset, and you maintain a long-term perspective thanks to your dad, who is such an inspiration to all of us with his long-term buy and hold. Could you share with us your thoughts on the market and what you're doing these days?
Sure. Honestly, I'm not doing much at the moment. I tried a few swing positions, and the timing did not work. I got stopped out of 3 of 4 of them. I am still in Tesla, and honestly, it's because I canceled my stop. I know the whole point of a stop is to not cancel them, but I was fairly certain it was that day Tesla swung. Did it drop like almost 10% in a single day? I was relatively certain that was going to be a short term bottom. So I did cancel my Tesla stop. Um, I did not cancel a NetEase stop, and I don't regret that. It went substantially lower than I imagined, as anybody who was watching China yesterday knows. But yeah, other than that, honestly, I'm not doing much at the moment. You have to. I do like swing trading options, but you have to know yourself. And frankly, this is not my market. It's been so choppy and so volatile. It's just not my market. So, honestly, I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm waiting until after the next Fed meeting. I would bet a lot of people are. Seasonality is strong. We all know seasonality is strong. We basically always go up at this time of year. And we also tend to bottom in late October in a midterm year. And I think it even gets more granular with a Democratic president in their first term. There's a statistic for everything. So I'm very aware of the seasonality, but I would still, like, a couple more days. A couple more days is not going to hurt me in either way. I would just rather, instead of predicting the market, I would just rather wait and see what it brings. I also, like many people who are long-term investors, have a lot of exposure to big tech. So I'm never particularly comfortable getting aggressive with any trades before big tech reports. God forbid something happens. It does. Sometimes your biggest position drops 25%. Amazon did that once, not too long ago. So I think, for me personally, I would rather just, instead of predicting the market, wait and see what happens. Everybody, it seems like all the traders are really expecting this end of year rally, and we might get it. But I don't want to be caught flat-footed if we don't get it.
Great mindset. Not worth the risk reward. Smart. Patience is tough. I mean, it's sitting on your hands, and they say waiting is the hardest part. So I commend you for that. Know your game, know your trade, and that sounds very smart. What are your thoughts so far on any of the earnings you've seen? Have you been watching like Coca-Cola today or any of the other ones? What do you anticipate? Do you have a good feeling about tonight? Google and Microsoft. I think you're long one of them or both of them.
I mean, like everybody else, I am cautiously optimistic. These are, these are among the largest and most valuable companies in the world for a reason, because they are some of the best businesses in the history of the world. So I am, I think it pays to be cautiously optimistic. I don't gamble on earnings at all. I was burned hard enough by that Snapchat, actually. It was Snapchat 2021. I think it was Snapchat's first big dive in 2021. And I lost a full quarter worth of earnings. And I learned, and fortunately, I had the money to give back. But it was a really good lesson about holding options through earnings. I would consider, if I'm super bullish on something, the most I would do is a lotto calls, but I would absolutely never hold short puts through earnings again. That is a very hard rule for me. We saw the quarter that Amazon dropped 25%, the quarter that Target did the same. Sometimes stocks make outside moves, so I'm I never gamble on what the market is going to do. I'm a little bit nervous, Amazon, I'm honestly, I heard there was a hiring freeze, AWS, and I'm a little bit, I don't, that's obviously, that's obviously Amazon's bread and butter. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. Google, I have a lot of faith in, but honestly, I don't know that my opinion really matters. We're going to find out in a few hours anyway,
Yes, exactly. This is definitely the earnings to watch this afternoon. I'm very excited myself. But it's great that you turned your losses into lessons and you've adhered to those new rules that you've created. So that's that's the best we can hope for, and that's what we're here to learn and to modify accordingly to have more success in the future. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Jess.
Look at Snapchat, not this last report, the one before that. I think the market had priced in a move on the order of 20%. And honestly, I thought to myself, well, maybe I'll sell a few short puts. That's pretty juicy. But I remembered my rule. It was painful. Losing a whole quarter worth of gains is painful. I remembered that pain and I stayed away. And then Snapchat dropped 39% just because the market is pricing in a large move doesn't mean the stock can't move even bigger.
Excellent. Wise words. Everyone listen to that. That's so true. And that happens. So thank you so much for that. That's better to be cautious than to take those big losses. Thank you. Sim, thank you so much for coming. We're so happy to have you. You rock it on those SPX zero DTE options. I'm amazed by you. And I love how you say the entry is most important, which is so true. I've been a real estate investor for, I think, over 25 years now. And we always learn that you make your money on the buy. Every deal makes sense at the right price. So that's a great point. You have so much wisdom for such a young age. So what are your thoughts on the market? What are you doing? I know you follow price. What are you trading? Or do I even have to ask what you're trading?
Hey, good morning, everybody. No, thank you for the introduction. I mean, as of today, it's kind of funny. I've traded everything except SPX today. It just, again, it's about the entry. The first and foremost, when you're trading zero DTE contracts, they're moving at an incredibly fast rate and they are fluctuating super fast as well. So to gauge an entry, it's very, very tough. You essentially, you got to be a sniper. Your execution is everything when it comes to zero DTE contracts. So as of right now, I'm just kind of sitting back and kind of just observing price action. But this morning, when I was actually trying to get in, I was looking for a little pullback. So I was looking for a break above 380 on SPY, and that's where there was a little bit of supply. It broke right over, and then I was waiting for a little bit of a retest, potential little pullback, an area to get in. As you could see, it never pulled back. So no entry for me there. I did take a couple other plays that were really awesome though. I was able to take Neo. I did get stopped out of Neo, to be honest with you. Now it's in profit, but it's okay. Had a small position on that just with my earlier profits. My earlier profits were from Amazon. Also took Tesla this morning, took Coin, SQ, and now I will be swinging a small position, which is going to be in Google end of day. But yeah, it's been a quite interesting day, and us being able to hold this 380 level, and now coming up and trying to break this high of this 384.21 looks awesome. Looking at a potential above, if we could flag out here and get a break above this 384.21, potential to 385.8-ish area. So I'll definitely be looking for a scalp on that. And if I do take something, I'll be signaling it in here as well.
Thank you so much. Could you share with us your amazing positive mindset, how you maintain that and your risk management strategies? Because zero DTE involves, having to employ that risk management. Could you give us some of your strategies, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think like what Jessica said, it's just right. Risk versus reward. If the risk versus and the if the risk is there, the risk is there no matter what, right? No matter what trade that you go into. But the reward has to be there. The reward has to be profitable. So I'm not going to dip into a position where, let's just say, I have a negative 20% stop loss on a position. I'm not going to essentially risk 20% on a trade in order to make 10%. To me, that's a negative R&R. So essentially, what do? I look for the bigger moves in the market. I mean, the biggest move possible. If I'm taking a balance to the upside, I want that move to be bigger than potentially shorting the top at that point. So I look for these quicker moves in the market because I am a scalp trader. But essentially, if I'm going to risk close to, and with zero DTE, this is very common. You do have to have a slightly bigger stop loss. Why? Again, the fluctuating of the contracts. They move so fast, up and down. And towards the end of the day, which we're getting to power hour here, those are going to be super, super volatile in power hour. So what you want to do is essentially have a good risk management strategy no matter what position that you're in. Let's just say that I'm risking 15%. Okay. So at that point, for me, and this is my strategy in particular, there's no way that I'm not going to take more than 15% on that contract. Okay. So if I'm risking 15%, I have to take more than that 15%. But it also comes down, risk management is one thing. It also comes down to your position sizing. A lot of people will tell me, oh, we'll send me up this big account so you can probably go in, whatever size you want. I mean, is that true? Yeah, if I wanted to, but I really like to limit the trades that I take. It's all about the quality of trades. A lot of people just want to take 20 trades at a time. I don't. If I could take 3 good trades a day, I'm happy with that. I run a service. I have a Discord service, and that's something that I always tell them too. Is you always want to take the quality trades in the market. So I relate this to, and this is kind of a mindset talk, but I relate this to surfing. So if a surfer paddles out, they're not taking every single wave that comes, right? They're essentially letting a lot of these waves pass. So what are they looking for? They're looking for the right setup, right? They see that really nice wave that comes, and that's when they start paddling out. Similar to you in the market, you're gonna go ahead and jump into that position. You're gonna click that buy button, right? When it starts approaching that certain price point, right, and it looks good, the volume is there. If you're a tape reader like me, time and sales looks clean. There's a lot of buying above the ask. Barely any sellers sitting on level 2, right? Everything looks prime. That's when that surfer paddles out. That's when you click that buy button. But the same way that a surfer is surfing that wave, you don't want to get wiped out during that wave, right? So that's where your risk management sets into place. You got to know when to exit as well. There's many times, like last week, for example, or actually, I'm sorry, yesterday, for example, I took a Tesla trade. It broke underneath my level, and I took a negative 8% stop loss on that. Now, could I have maybe waited and could it have recovered? Yeah, absolutely. But at that time, I had to go based off of the information that the market was giving me. And at that time, the market was giving me information. I have to be willing to take the feedback of the market and being able to analyze that on the spot. That's what I have to do as a scalp trader. So that's what I was doing. And that information that it was showing me at that time was that there was too much selling pressure. Buyers were not trying to hold, which means that bids were dumping. So at that point, that was my indication of sellers having control, buyers not having enough control, and then that's where I take my exit at. Um, a lot of people think that trading is mainly about technical analysis and all that. To me, that's 30% of the game. 70% is your mindset. One of the biggest things that I say is coming into the market, you have to have an abundance mindset. I know a lot of people get afraid of, being in a trade with their real money and they start freaking out. And that's understandable, right? Nobody wants to lose money. What's your job as a trader? Your job as a trader is simply to come into the market and make money. It's as simple as that. But people get really caught up in like all these other things, right? But one of the things that I always say is coming in with that abundance mindset is everything. You come in acting like you already won. And if you come in with that and you have good risk management and you understand what that risk is, then you've already made peace with your downside. That's the best part about having a risk management strategy and having a plan. You've already made peace with your downside, knowing how much you can risk. So why be nervous at that point? You've already made peace with that. You already understand what that risk is. Where the fear comes in is when you start changing up your strategy. You start changing up your strategy, you start changing up your plan. Now, when it hits your 15% stop loss and it keeps on dipping, you're not willing to get out of that trade. And then that's where your discipline has to come in. You've got to be a disciplined trader. So one of the things that, I worked in law enforcement before, and the biggest thing that I've been ever taught in my life, working in a career like that is discipline. I had to wake up early, I had to go, work out, I had to be on a strict schedule. specifically in police academy. It was very tough, right? So similar to like a boot camp, you could say. So similar to that, you have to be disciplined, right? The motivation is one part of it, but the discipline is really what takes you to the next level.
Beautiful. Thank you. I hope everyone listened very closely. This was beautiful. And you're so young. You amaze me. This is wisdom. This is pure wisdom from life and trading. I love it. The abundance mindset, I agree completely. A lot of people come in with a zero sum mindset, and it's actually the opposite of what they need to embody. Discipline and consistency, absolutely. I love your analogy about surfers. It's about patience. You're waiting for the right wave, the right setup. You can't just try to make every wave work. And then when we go to California coastline, that's where I see most of the surfers. When I look into the water, I see most of the surfers sitting on their boards. Do I see them taking waves often? No. They spend most of their time waiting patiently for that right wave. So that's a great mindset. Less is more, quality over quantity. Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Sim. Thank you. Now we're going to hop over to Nargis. Nargis, your day and option trading strategies are quite impressive. Love your charting. Yesterday, I believe you took an SPX, or you mentioned SPX when it closed right above 37.83, and you mentioned something about a gap up, and we got that. Did you play that? And if you did, how did you play that SPX?
Hey, hi. Thanks, Rosanna, for hosting this. So, one of the beautiful things is that I do cycle work, right? So, GAN mostly and then cycles. So, uh, I was looking for from the high of 4800, the cycle it already breached one cycle at 4097. So, the next stop was around 3481. And XPX was having a very strong support around 3550. So it breached that, it went and did hit the cycle numbers 34.8, almost close to 3481. So it kind of satisfied that criteria. It met that offset, that band of offset, right? And from there, I knew that if this holds, like as you said, there is a and like Sim was saying, you come with a mindset that number one, you know what you're doing, and number two, you're ready to take a risk which is worth of a good reward, right? So if I took a long around 3500, 3550 at my level, at my cycle level, which is coming there, the risk would be very low. I would have gotten stopped out below 3481. But if the reward was good, and that was assumption, a cycle low, albeit maybe a short term, the reward would be great. So we are 350 points above now, right? You can't beat that. That and second is it's an very good doing the numbers. The have been I think you have also saying that 150 a lot of, and past few sessions it has been sessions, meaning from a few months to a couple of months since June, it has been failing around that area, and it is tried one more time again. And once I knew that 3752 is getting overtaken and things are closing, and YM had fired long, your RTY had fired long, just around 3752, ES had fired long, was trying to fire long. It was the first day when I noticed it. And I thought that, and NQ was the only one lagging, the tech was only one lagging. So I had mentioned, I think in old space also, that if these three are giving us a good signal, then they should pull NQ up. And yesterday, NQ again fired a long signal. So I took quite a bit of, tech stuff. Apple, Microsoft, no, not Microsoft, sorry, Meta, and Tesla. I had Google. I had some calendars basically. So the calendars, short leg expired on October 21st, so Friday. So, so I had some position for this week and some I had position for November, longer term play. So I have those long calls now. So I've adjusted, like Google, I've adjusted a little bit with protection, and I adjusted Microsoft with a little bit of protection. Is the reason is because the ES today is ending around 38.45. Okay, so between 38.45 and 39.07 is again an inflection point, and I don't want to go into earnings with when indices end at an inflection point. Same is with Apple, also around 152, and NQ also 11,700, that area. So just a teensy bit of protection in case things don't work out well. So this is how I work with my levels. My numbers tell me something, and then I take that action. And the risk and reward sometimes can be very, very good if you follow those things. As far as the XPX is concerned, those are my daily side income. I just take the spreads. So I take the spreads, the credit spreads above my levels, because these days we are getting a very big range, 100 point, 150 daily range. So I like, for example, today it was 38.45 was my level. So I took 38.65, 38.75 and 70 call credit spread I had taken, and now it's almost expiring. It's 10 cent worth, so that's going away. I had taken 39.05 and 39.10 in the morning for tomorrow for 90 cents. But then we got a puke earlier, and I took out the short leg, and then I exited my long now. So I kind of play this way as well. Sometimes I take out the short leg and then ride the long in the direction, because today there was great momentum to the upside, and it is having difficulty losing some points down. So the idea was, if it wants to bounce back, it'll bounce hard and fast. So it did that. So I exited my credit spread for tomorrow, and it gave me some money back to play for the earnings. So that was good. Oh, CMG also has earnings, so I'm trying to play butterflies for that. So CMG is going up on a bearish pattern. So from, oh so God, 1580 to 1700, 1750, it has that bearish pattern activated. Now, if it tries to stay over 1625, then that bearish pattern may get invalidated. So either this CMG would resolve around 1700-ish, 1650, 1700, 1750, that range, and then need to see whether that pattern gets activated and CMG starts puking from there, or this will immediately start puking at earnings itself. So I'm playing 50 wide butterfly for CMG, 1650, 1700, 1750 for next week, and protective butterfly for maybe $1 to the downside, to just exit out of my capital, basically. So that's how I'm trying to play the earnings. The end phase I don't want to play, because it's too, it's very costly.
Yes,
That's
the
all.
premiums are very high. Yes, I agree with you. It's had good earnings lately. We'll see. I'm really curious to see how it reacts today. They've been beating and they've been raising, so we'll see if that pattern continues. So that's very interesting to watch. I love your creative options trading. I like for your Microsoft, you put together a bull call spread with a protective bear put spread in a tighter range. Could you just go over that for everyone? I play those like that. To me, I call them a reverse iron condor, and I like to play those. Could you explain that for everyone?
So the thing is, Microsoft is, as of now, it is, I really wanted to stay over to, so Microsoft's very important resistance is 250.5. $250.50. Basically, it's 45 cents, but let's just say 50 cents to keep it even. So if it crosses that and it stays over and closes above it, this thing is going to fly. Okay. And generally, we may get a confirmation that market is going to be okay. Okay. So that's why I wanted to play a very tight CDS. I'm playing 255 and 265. 10-point range for $3, and Microsoft is also very costly. The premiums are high, and also the decay on it is also very high. So that's why I wanted to keep it very tight, that if this resolves, so it's 5 points matter, so 10 points would keep it up, and I could double my CDS on that one. And if it goes to 270, 275, then my CDS would pay me. But just as a protection, I took 240, 237, just to get some capital out of it in case it tanks or it pukes. So my total cost is like around $4, and then I have a XPX attached to. I mean, not attached to it. It's a general my everyday thing, but which helps me to get some money back. So credit spread I'm doing 30, 39, 20, 25 tomorrow for 50, 60 cents. I'll put an order. So that would get me out of at least 50% capital protection will be there. Oh my God! Oh my God! We are getting a earthquake. This
We're
is
getting
California,
what?
guys. We just had a earthquake. My table went all crazy. I thought
Oh
my
my
house was
gosh, an
reeling.
earthquake live. Are you okay?
We
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we
I
have
mean,
a earth
this
we
is the
have an
first time
earthquake. It's
my
pretty
whole
bad.
desk and my chandelier is moving like crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, my whole house just shook.
Oh my gosh, an earthquake. Are you guys okay?
Anyone in
Jess,
the
are
area?
you okay?
No earthquake here.
No, no, this is Bay Area. So, oh my God. I
Oh,
felt my head
really?
is reeling.
I'm in
I
the
may
Bay
not have
Area.
a
I didn't feel
breakfast or
anything.
something.
Oh wow,
Okay, good.
live on
Yeah.
Spaces, an earthquake. I hope as long as everyone's okay. Sim, are you okay?
I don't know if she
Nargis,
experienced
everyone's
it.
okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Our earthquakes, we don't even feel it. But this is one of the rarest one where my whole desk with three big monitors was dangling like this for a few seconds.
Oh
But
my
yes, I'm good.
gosh.
Sorry to take away the attention. But yes.
No, that's great. Thank you for letting us know. Oh my God. And thank you so much for your discussion on that. Microsoft, very creative options. Options are great for not only profitability, but for risk management. I love how you use that as a protective on the downside. And I do that all the time. I don't always balance it. I make some tighter. I take less of those on one side. I have more of the other side. I think it's great. Thank you for sharing that. Leah, you are an investor, options trader, coach, published author, and more. So please share with us your perspective on the market. Are you surprised with all this green? And what are you trading, if anything, this week?
Hi guys, hi everyone. Well, I'm not surprised because I think nothing can surprise me after the last couple of years. But to be honest, I was kind of expecting the rally because we had a massive bullish divergence on SPY on weekly chart. And on Friday, we had this massive short squeeze that usually turns into a FOMO. So we are in a third day of this, and I feel like we are losing a little bit of steam. So we'll see. Maybe we're going to have some retest in the next couple of days, but we'll see how the earnings also go. It's really hard to predict through this week, especially this week with all the mega caps. Yeah, but when it comes to the seasonality, as we already spoke about it, October through December are the best three consecutive months in the US market. So expectations are there. And even when I looked at the charts from 2008, I don't want to bring it up, many people do on Twitter, but even there, from like basically the monthly OPEX in October, the stock market rallied almost 27% until early January 2009. So we might have a quite nice rally. And when it comes to seasonality, we can also talk about different industries. And for example, semiconductors are very strong after the OPEX in October, and they rally through November. So you can see it already today on AMD, NVIDIA. I'm invested in ASML, which is a favorite one of mine. And that one has been rallying crazy last 3 days. So again, this year we are in bear market, and also there is a chip shortage. We have issues with China, so it might not be the case this time. I would be careful, and also I wouldn't trade just based on this information. It's all a probability game, so we must follow other macro factors to make our investment decisions. But it so far looks very good to me, and yeah, we'll see what happens. That's pretty much about what I'm expecting in the next month. But as I said, usually the market rallies up to Thanksgiving Day and then before Christmas again. So let's see if we get some candies.
Yes, right. Hopefully we get some nice, end of year treats. We need those for the kind of year that we've had this year. Now, let me ask you, how are you playing that ASML trade? Is it through options, or do you share? How are you playing it long?
I own shares and I don't own enough of them. I would love to have more because I was very carefully deep buying this year. And I just kept selling puts this year on ASML. And the last put I sold was 405. And when we rallied, I bought it back, made probably 65% on that one. I wish I would keep it because, I mean, it's up almost $100 in last 3-4 days since the earnings, or 3-4 market days. So that's how I played it. Sometimes when I feel like when the market is more stable, I just keep the shares if I can get them put and just trade around the shares. But yeah, with ASML, I just bought back the put. I didn't keep the shares, so I have some for long term, but that was just that trade. But again,
Perfect.
like I mean, yeah, I like AMD, Nvidia. I would swing them. I don't know if I want to own all semiconductors, and I don't think that makes sense. But I particularly like the Dutch company because it's kind of a little bit away from the drama in the US and China. So it's my favorite one.
Very nice. I like that. It's good insight. Now with the earnings today with Microsoft and Google, I think you said that you were long both of them. Are you playing those around your positions? Are you doing anything with any of the earnings this week, Apple or anything?
You know what? I'm not playing Microsoft earnings or Google. If we go lower, I will gladly buy more shares. I would not mind owning a little bit more of Google and Microsoft. Microsoft is great. It's the movements there are not as violent. We are getting dividends as well. So I wouldn't mind adding if we go lower. I don't play earnings particularly because I feel like last week I had a strangle on Netflix and I had puts on Tesla. It's just for me, it's so much mental bandwidth this earning plays take from me that I'm not sure that the reward is there, to be honest with you. Like the moves would have to be really violent and you have to be right. And I'm not sure if I have enough information to base my predictions on when it comes to earnings. It's more gambling to me. And I'm like, look, there are super complex trades like Nargis was talking about, which I don't do right now. And as I said, like, you have to choose your battles. So no, I'm not going to play this one tonight, but I'm going to watch them. I'm super excited. I have my popcorn ready.
Yeah, I have mine as well. Thank you. Yeah, it's all about what it costs you. If it costs you your peace and your mental state, it's not worthy of your time. So I agree completely. Now, we were talking about passive income, and you had a pretty impressive background. You were purchasing real estate at such a young age. Could you please share with us all your passive income strategies and ideas for all of us?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Well, as you said, I got into real estate very young because back then I didn't know stock market. So that was the only thing I could think of to make money on a monthly basis. And right now I sold, this year actually, I sold all my rental real estate. I had up to 14 apartments, which I bought very young and they were very cheap and really ugly. And I didn't get scared of the way they looked because I renovated all of them with a crew of some guys. And that's what people a lot of times do. They want to buy flashy, nice real estate and they want to make money off of them, but it doesn't work that way. Sometimes we just have to buy something that feels uncomfortable. It doesn't look so great, but with a little bit of work, we increase the value and we can rent it for really nice money. So I don't own any of them anymore. As I said, the real estate market was so powerful that I sold everything and I'm just slowly allocating the funds into beat up stocks and mostly tech and some dividend stocks. So when it comes to passive income these days, I prefer REITs because I feel like I own real estate, but I don't have to really manage it. Of course, there is a little bit more risk to it and you have to do your research, but I have international REITs that I invest in, and a lot of them give you between 8 and 11% yield every year. So there are some I owned from Singapore. I have Cromwell real estate REITs from, it's a mixture of Asia and Europe. I feel like with this way, I can just own real estates all over the world, but I don't have the headache of managing them, and I'm just collecting my dividend. Plus now, when you think about it, you're buying those REITs in euros, and euro was really beat up. So I'm not going to, this is not an investment advice, of course, but if you just think about it, your broker lends you euros that that interest rate on euro is much lower than dollar. Like, for example, in the US, you pay margin 7-8%, unless you have a special deal with your broker, which is always possible. But on euros, you pay, let's say, 3% interest rate. It was 2.5 in the summer, in July, so now it increased a little bit. And then you are getting 8 up to 11% dividend on the stock. So you're basically borrowing free money, which you pay 3% interest rate to your broker, but you are getting 8 to 11% dividend. So you're basically making 5 to 8% yearly on free money that is not your money. So this is how I think it's actually an interesting time to do it, and especially when dollar is really strong these days. So yeah, that's why I invested heavily into the REITs from different countries. And in the US, I have O, which I own, that gives you monthly dividend, not every 3 months like other companies. So that's a very nice passive income. And then other one is the options, selling of options. If anyone who has shares and owns 100 shares of certain equity, I think it's a crime not to sell calls. And if someone wants to invest, to do it through the puts, but especially the calls, I really enjoyed. And in bear market, when we have these massive rallies like last 3 days, it's beautiful to just sell a call. Like if you imagine you sell a call and you just make 1% on that money, and you sell, like, let's say, bi-weekly calls. So you can make up to 2% on your investment every single month. Just to look at the option chart. Like, for example, today I sold calls in VEEV, VEEV. I owned some shares. And, I sold 180 call for November 18th. I got about $2. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's basically $200. So it's a little bit over 1%. And if you do this every 2-3 weeks, just think about that money that you can make on positions. And then if you have multiple positions, which a lot of investors in my age do, it's amazing passive income. And I do a little bit more risky trades too, which again, I do not recommend. But sometimes I sell calls with like delta that's below 30, and the probability that it will get there is lower, but I sell it even below the strike price that I own, because in this kind of environment, I honestly don't think that certain companies can rally 20-30% in the next month. Like, I really don't think so. And if it would happen that, God forbid, I would get called away and I have to sell my shares below my strike price, then I would just immediately that day sell a put for that same price. So I will be collecting another premium for the put, and I would have a chance that on the pullback, I will have the shares back for the same price.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Smart strategies. And the cover calls seem to be more forgiving in this market with the market, tending, a downtrend. So we've had a lot of luck with that as well. So I agree with you. With the yields, I love your foreign REITs. It's about what you keep. So even though there's a fee and it costs you a certain amount, like you said, to go on margin or to borrow, and it's that difference between what you're receiving from what it's costing you, that net profit. And that's a great, smart way to look at it. Could you just name a few of these foreign REITs for everyone so they maybe can get some ideas on what they can look for high yields?
Absolutely, yeah. That's so I will spell it. It's BTOU. That's on Singapore Exchange. You can buy BTOU as a boy toy. That's great, boy toy. BTOU. I tend to be funny sometimes. And then is CWBU. And then there is ME8U. So these are like the 3 one I have that are a mixture of Singapore, Asia, and Europe. And these guys all have, as I said, between 8 and 11%. And of course, I own a lot of dividend stocks that also is the yields there are less, but it's still nice to accumulate dividends and reinvest them. As I said, as I'm going to be getting older, let's say I will reach 8 or 50, 55, and 60, I will be turning more into the dividend stocks and maybe just live off of that income at some point as well. At this point, I'm just reinvesting them because I have another income, so I don't need to live on this money, but it's nice to accumulate the shares.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your valuable insight. And I definitely love that if the covered calls are in the money and they're going to get called away, you go and you sell a put. Brilliant. You can also roll them out as well if you want to use that strategy, but that's great. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Leah. Appreciate it so much. Let's go back to Vegas. Vegas, I hope everything's going well over there. How are your trades coming along? Anything else? Anything else that you're spotting? I mean, you gave us so many amazing trades. And I still love that Chewy
Yeah.
trade from yesterday. Your call outs are amazing. I have to say, your call outs are amazing, Vegas.
Thank you so much. And I just want to mention, I mean, Nike's a swing trade. And as I mentioned earlier, NVIDIA is like super, super strong. And so one level to really keep important here is if we can break on NVIDIA 133, then we're on track to heading towards 140. So I'm just managing and monitoring the action on NVIDIA. It's getting really fun here. So I love the
Awesome.
momentum and looking for those fireworks. So
I
looking
love
really,
it.
really good. Love that one.
Vegas, could you tell us all about your service that you have where people could get your call outs firsthand? Do you have a Discord? Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, I do like to do momentum trades. So I do a lot of day trades. I like to go where the money flow is. So I do provide day trade ideas. So if you like day trades, then I would be a good fit for someone that's looking for action. The other thing too is I have also do a lot of swing trades too. So if you have another job or sometimes day trading, I will be honest, it's not for everyone. It's very stressful sometimes, especially sometimes the channels go up and down. The trade goes against you, it pulls back. So if you like swing trades as well, like with time on your side, I also have swings ideas as well. So I kind of try to trade with traders that like momentum but that also like the slower pace as well, because you know what, swing trades pay really well too. So if you're busy doing other things and you just want to have swing trades, then if anyone's interested, they can certainly join my team or message me for if they have questions. I'm happy to answer and help traders and want them to learn as well. It's not just calling out. I'm like Sim's on her voice in her chat. I'm in the voice on my chat. I'm speaking throughout the day, commenting on the market, giving commentary, explaining the trades, talking about the tape action, talking about reversals, trying to show people what to look at to help them learn how to do it themselves too, because my team has a lot of experienced traders. And what's nice is I love when I hear stories of people that are starting to identify reversals and going, oh, look, here's a trade. So it's teamwork. It's all collaboration. Everyone just wants everyone to do well and help each other learn. So that's what it's all about. That's why I love talking on voice, because I love when I know that people are learning. And I only know if they're learning, honestly, if they tell me and they share how their accounts are doing. That's how I know that I'm doing a good job. And then I try to share the feedback to try to help others. I try to post on social media as well to engage people to learn too, and try to give quality picks as well. So happy to if anyone has questions or wants to come join my room, feel free. It doesn't hurt to try it. I have another service that's similar to the platinum. My platinum service is with me on voice all day, but if you don't have time to listen to my commentary, then you would want to go with Vegas 2.0. It's without the audio portion, and that's really more suited for someone who just doesn't have time to listen and is busy. So thank you so much for letting me talk about that. I really appreciate it.
You are genuine. I've gotten to know you very well in the past few weeks. We've spoken off of social media, and I have to tell you, I have to tell everyone, Vegas is for real. She's a great person and she cares. And she's brilliant with her trades. You can't get any better than that. So I am so thankful that you shared with us your services, because if anyone's interested in any of that, they have to check you out because you care and you're really good. Okay. Your call outs are amazing and you teach them how. It's like teaching someone how to fish. You don't just give fish. And that is a lifelong lesson. And that's genuine. I appreciate that so much. And thank you for coming on the show today. And we're so grateful to have you here on Twitter. You bring a new level of just care and genuineness and just excellent trading. I love it. Thanks, Vegas. Archana, please tell us a little bit more about your Substack. I love reading it every morning. You're so diligent. Every morning you go and you write this amazing Substack, and it's so relevant to the market, and it's necessary. I become hooked on it. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I write a Substack where I analyze the ES and NQ markets, and my analysis is mostly based on fibs and general technical analysis. And wherever I think that the market is not going to go, that is where I sell zero DTE. Sometimes I do SPY or QQQ pin trades that I talked about. So it would be a combination of either butterflies or credit spreads. And I specify not only analyze the ES where I think it is going to go or not going to go, and I come up with the trade beforehand. And the next day, whatever I did, I report back with profit or loss, whatever happens. And so I keep it honest, first of all. In that Substack, it's more of a diary of my analysis in the morning pre-market, and a report card too, as to what made money and what did not make money. So if need be, I can change it. That's just the Substack that I do, and the rest I actually am a contributor at Laduk Trading. She has her own Discord service and trading room, so I'm a contributor there. I run an advanced options channel there, and I do options mentoring. But yeah, I like writing my Substack.
Love it. Thank you so much. It's your honesty and your accountability that's so valuable, and that you come out with your trades, and the next day, whether it was a win or a loss, you accept that. And it's that acceptance that I value so much in you, and your honesty. And your Substack's great. And I have to check out your Laduk Trading as well. I'm going to have to see that as well. Thank you so much, Archana, for coming today. I really appreciate you. Sim, we're going to go to you because thank you for coming. You're awesome, Butterfly Queen. I really mean it. You're really awesome. You're very smart, and your butterflies are amazing. Sim, I'm going to go to you because Power Hour is your time to rock it. And I know you're going to have to get going because you're going to make a kill. You're going to go kill that SPX or whatever you're doing. So could you just tell us about your Discord, please? And what people, because I know everyone wants to know how they can get in touch with you. So could you just let us know?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the founder of Elite Capital. That's my Discord. I live trade there every single day, including Power Hour. The Power Hour trades are the bigger percentage gainers, larger risk though too. So don't forget about that. But yeah, I live trade every single day with two other admins that are on live voice with me, and then we have a bunch of day traders in there as well. We're all about education, so I really like teaching the tape while I'm trading. So I like to walk through the entire play from start to finish, even giving out my limit prices that I put out, because SPX is generally, especially towards the end of the day, a little bit wider when it comes to the spread. So I give out my limits there. Live trade from entry to exit with all the scale outs as well. And then for education, we do a lot of classes and stuff for free, that are just a part of the server. I also have a free server as well that I'll go in from time to time when I do have an opportunity. I'll go and post some trade ideas in there, and then I also teach a lot of classes in there as well. I do mentorships on my own, but I'm really, really particular about mentorships. I only like maybe doing like one or two people at a time just because they deserve that individual attention. So yeah, that's what I do. Do it on a daily basis. I have a lot of fun trading. But yeah, Power Hour is definitely my favorite time of the day.
Awesome. Exciting. Sim, thank you so much. See, once again, you get the resounding theme. These are amazing people here, and I'm so honored to be in this group. She cares. Sim cares to genuinely help people. And that's such a valuable trait. And she's an amazing trader. I mean, amazing. Your SPX, I mean, is a very impressive. So you have a lot to teach, and we have a lot to learn from you, Sim. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we really appreciate you so much. And thank you for being here today. Jess, I hope you're okay. You didn't feel the earthquake, but I'm glad you're okay over there. Please tell us some final words. Tell us anything else. We're so happy that you joined us today.
Yeah, I guess I just want to remind everyone that you don't need to take advantage. You don't need to take advantage of every wiggle. Life is long, especially if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. Unless you're looking at retiring in the next few years, you've got plenty of time. If you don't like the market right now, you can wait. It'll be here in a week and 2 weeks and in a year. So, just be patient. Don't rush anything. You don't need to get, every time the market's green, you don't need to get FOMO. Every time the market's red, you don't need to panic. You could just relax, because the market is going to be, unless something cataclysmic happens, the market will be here waiting.
I love it. Always wise words from you. And I appreciate that so much. And very, very words that we do need to follow. I mean, having patience, consistency. These are all the things we keep hearing. And we don't have to make things work. We just have to wait, be patient, and let the trade come to us. And and it's just, this is a tough market. It's very choppy, and it may not be a market for everyone. So thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you so much for coming onto this space today, Jess. You are awesome. You are I always call you a rock star. You are a rock star. You're awesome, and you're a really great person. Thank you so much. Nargis, please, let's tell us some final thoughts or anything else that is on your mind for today as a takeaway.
So the only thing I would say is that if you had a good run from the past few days, then it's always good to take some profit or some capital off the table. That generally helps to relieve pressure and stay in the game longer. So always ladder your profits. That generally helps to get out some of your capital. Then the next leg for the profit, and the third leg for some speculation move. That way your pressure is off, and you can stay in the game, and you're not worried about what is going to happen. And of course, your position sizing matters a lot. Your risk tolerance matters a lot. Risk only that much which you are comfortable with it, depending on your portfolio sizing, some percentage of it. If you are putting in a position and you're worrying day in and day out, that means you are oversized. Your position is high, and your risk tolerance is high. Your positioning should always also marry along with your portfolio size, your personality as well. Trade stocks which matches your personality. That always gives good health. Health is far more important than worrying about what's going to stay in the market. We will all be gone, but the market is going to stay here. So we are here to make money. So the idea should be to make money and not gain stress in the process. So that's I mean, we all learn the hard way. Basically, everyone learns the hard way. I've also learned the hard way, and I've realized it's not worth putting in too much mental capital if the returns are not that great.
Exactly. Agree completely. If it's going to give you stress, it's going to cost.
Yes, it's going to cost you.
I'm sorry.
In some way or the other.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I was getting interrupted by a phone call, so that's why I may have been off.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So that's how it is, and always be confident about your trades. Be positive and be confident about your trades, and do not get worried about the stop loss. The small stop loss is always good than a bigger chunk. Like, for XPX trades, I say, if you're making something, it's okay to make 50 cents. You can make over that 50 cents very fast, but making up that $5 is very tough. So, have that kind of a mindset that small loss you can recover along the way, but a bigger loss, it will not only minus your capital, it is going to minus your your health, your peace, and then too much worry, and sometimes it causes issues in the family as well.
Exactly. It's all about family, your real life, and your harmony in your family. And I love what you said about if it costs you your peace and it's not worth it. I think we all touched upon that same concept. And trade with your personality, and risk management is key, and take profits. I love that, everyone. You listen to that one. Take profits. Earlier today, I actually was listening to the Spanx founder, Sarah Blakely, I think her name was, and she has some motivational video. I always like to listen to successful people and their story, because that's how we learn. We learn from each other, and we're all learning from you. All of you are amazing, and we're learning from each other here. But she said that she keeps a picture or a board in her office of a quote, and it says, "We are all going to die." And first you're like, what? But it's just to remind her every day of what's really important and to make the best of every day. So it goes exactly in line with all this. If it costs you your peace, it's not worth it. And to live each day to the fullest. And that involves with your trading as well. Thank you so much, Nargis. I mean, you're amazing. I'm so happy I met you on here. You're so impressive with everything, and your wisdom is great. And you're so beautiful too. I saw your picture from Diwali. So thank you for sharing
Hey,
all
can I
that.
add one small thing? Just because,
Please, I add whatever you
I mean,
want.
it's completely technical. So, guys, just watch Tesla take over 229, Apple staying over 150, Nvidia going above 134.5. It's forming a good candle. And if the market fires high, this semis, which has been the weakest of all, should push up very fast. And one of the things is FNGU, that's the ETF. It's around 5.6 or something. I mean, it's pretty cheap, but it has all the high techs like the Microsoft, your Google, your Nvidia, your Apple, everything. So that can be a good bet because your low was 4.33. So, a few chunks here and there worth of $5, it can sit along well in order to, because I've been watching this FNGU for the past couple of months, and it moves very well, both to the upside and to the downside. But if this moves to the upside, it could see some nice 2, 3, 4 points up if Nvidia and other stuff fires higher. And if not, your stop loss is below 4.33. That is there. And yes, I will watch for 37.52 to hold or not hold. NQ 11,700. These would generally be the point where we can say the market is trying to fire higher. I would watch these numbers carefully, especially Tesla and Apple, Nvidia, and from there we will know. Of course, test and retest of the lows may happen, but once these numbers are confirmed and they are going to stay here, stabilizing here, then we may have some good surprises for the next month. Of course, be smart and manage your risk.
Absolutely. Wow, you can keep talking all day. This is, amazing insight. I'm going to have to rewind this and write this all down. I love it. Tesla 229. I remember that. And then Apple 150. So thank you so much. And your charts are brilliant.
My threads have all these numbers. So, people can go and check that.
Wonderful. Okay, let's go and make sure everyone, first of all, make sure you follow everyone on this space. They're all brilliant, amazing, and great people, which is so important. They genuinely care. They want to help. They share their generous time to help others. Please go to Nargis's profile, and you can go right through there, click through here, and you can go straight to her profile, and you can see all of her tweets, which have all these levels. Just like that SPX yesterday when she called it on that red line, it's all in her chart. So go check her out and make sure you follow her. Thank you so much, Nargis, and I hope you're safe over there with that earthquake.
Oh, that's gone long ago. That's like the
Good. Okay,
toughest.
good. It's that's a pass now. Leah, final takeaway. You are a you have a, is it not neuroscience or psychology degree and from Columbia. So please give us some mindset, some just like market psychology, please.
Yeah, so I think as the ladies already mentioned, I think in trading it's 80% psychology and the rest is the theory that you have. You can learn everything, but you make decisions based on your emotions, and they are so strong that most people fail. And I think that another aspect of trading is it's a very stressful job to have, and you're dealing with your money that, you know, it's your life, it's your future. So we are affected and we can burn out really fast with this work. And that's why I think it's extremely important to take care of your wellness and lifestyle and de-stress and take some time off and have balance in life. And as you said, I studied biopsychology and pre-med, and then I went to mediation and conflict resolution at Columbia, and I worked with couples as a marriage counselor and intimacy coach for over a decade. And in COVID, I became a trader, and I now help traders I will not tell them what to trade, but I will help them to manage their emotions and help them to become less reactive and rather be calm and calculated. And also, I love to help people, and especially in finance and trading, to keep a healthy lifestyle. Because as I said, I've seen many people being very sick in their 40s, late 40s, early 50s. They work in finance, they are burned out. All sorts of diseases can happen if you don't take care of yourself. And I really enjoy doing hypnosis, which I'm also licensed in, and coaching with people around finance and trading. So that's what I do.
Please tell us about your services. I didn't know you offered those. I'm glad you're telling us. Please tell us about your coaching services.
Yeah. So as I said, in COVID, I shifted from the intimacy and relationship coaching and marriage counseling more towards the trading. And I help traders to keep a healthy lifestyle, to make sure that they take care of their wellness and manage their emotions. And oftentimes I find hypnosis and meditation extremely effective. So as I said, I'm licensed as a hypnotist, and I have wellness nutrition certification. So I can help people with that if they're interested. And they can just find information about me on my website, leahholmgren.com.
Thank you so much. I know you have a link tree right from your profile, so then they can find your book, which amazing book you wrote, and they can find all your services, right?
Yeah. Well, the book is still about relationships. That was before I transformed my life, and I think it's beautiful.
But it's a great book
to be able to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so
awesome.
much. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. You're very kind. Thank you. And
thank you, Leah. Thank you so much. Everyone here, it's a dynamic panel because we all have different perspectives. We all come together as, you know, we all mean well, and we're all here to help, and we're so generous with our time. So I want to thank everyone for joining us in the audience, and we appreciate all of you. Thank you for listening, and thank you to all of you amazing women on here. You so generously share your time and wisdom with all of us. And we're always learning from each other. And that's the key, is to keep learning. As the famous Charlie Munger once said, the best thing a human being can do is help another human being know more. And that is what I hope we accomplished here this afternoon. Learning and sharing together, we can inspire, elevate, and empower one another to be better in investing and in life. So maintain a growth and positive mindset, believe in yourself, and most of all, never give up. Thank you so much, everyone. And until next time, take care. Happy trading.
Thank you, Rosanna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Rosanna.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Rose Show podcast. Please visit rosannaprestia.com for more episodes. See you soon.